Hello, I'm Nick from the Cloud Services team at Cardiff University, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how to use Power Automate to send a mail merge. So what you need to do is go into Power Automate and click Create. It's going to be an instant flow, so one that you manually trigger. Give it a name and select manually trigger and hit Create. The next step is going to be selecting your Excel file. So your Excel data source needs to be stored in OneDrive or in SharePoint. So SharePoint includes teams and groups. So you save it into there. And what you need to do is the Excel file actually needs to have a table in it. You won't be seeing what I'm doing here, unfortunately, because I've got the window clipped in Firefox in OBS. But what you need to do is, if your data doesn't have a table in it, you need to put a table in it. Easiest way to do that is just click anywhere, format as a table in the top under styles, select one of the styles, and what that'll do is it will create a table for you. Or come up saying, does my table have headers? Say yes on that, unless you don't have headers, in which case what are you doing? And when you save that, make sure you save it again to either OneDrive or Teams or SharePoint or somewhere like that. So once you've saved it, we're going to go add a new step, Excel Online, and it's the list rows present in the table that you want. The location, well, I've got mine saved in OneDrive, but you can see here all of the groups and teams and SharePoint sites I've got access to, so I can select OneDrive for Business. In here, I don't know why it's shown 2 up at the moment, but it's the top one that you want. And the file, well, I have saved this in Documents, and there it is. And then it will show up a table. It showed the table, so it's just called Table 1. You could have called it something else, but I've called it Table 1. And the next thing you need to do is you need to go into Control, and you need to do an Apply to Each. It's going to be dynamic value, which is going to be the list of items. And then we're going to do an add action. And you don't use this mail, by the way. So we do send email from a shared mailbox under Office 365. Now, obviously, if you just want this sent to yourself, you can use anything. But I'm going to send this as a shared mailbox. So this is... it is that one. And the to address, I'm just going to put myself in for testing, but what you would do is you would click on the dynamic value up here, and you can see it's picked up the email column from the data. So you would just normally click on that. But for now, I'm just going to put myself in. The subject, well, that can be anything you want, but we do have a test title, so and the next thing is the body. Now you can just start typing in here and it'll work perfectly fine. So if you got the content, you can just paste it in there like that. That's perfect. So that's what I've done. And then you just replace the bits that you don't want in there with dynamic content. So up here is the lightning bolt with the dynamic content, and you can go, right, put the first name in there, and comma, and then we want the amount. So this will be the refund due one. And if you find this doing weird things like this, just go into the HTML mode and you can clean it up that way. It's one of the quirks of Power Automate. Sometimes it doesn't quite work as you would think it would work. Now this is meant to have a link in it. Just so you know, I'm using VS Code for. I've got VS Code open in another window with this in. So we've got. Please, could you fill out this form? So we'll highlight that and we'll put the target in there and add that. So it's now put a nice. If you look at the code, you can see it's put a nice AHEF record in there for you. So there you go, and that's it. That will send an email to everybody that's in the list. Obviously, you wouldn't just send it to yourself. Now, one thing to bear in mind, if you send in this using the shared mailbox functionality, like I am, the mailbox needs to have the send permission. You need to have send permission on that mailbox. So in the Office 365 Center, I've added myself with the send as permission for that mailbox. So that's the one thing you just need to bear in mind before you hit save and test. And that's it. Thanks.